welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I have a Happy Death Day 3 update, which is not what I was expecting, and I'm pretty sure you was not either. I did not know this was still happening. So there is some little things that we have found out. The newest Blumhouse movie, Freaky, they say it's coming out in November. I don't see it happening. I try to stay positive, but hey, I don't see it. But yeah, Freaky is the latest movie that's coming out from Blumhouse. Freaky is in the universe of Happy Death Day, which I find it really cool. With that being said, and Freaky looks fun, but yeah, Happy Death Day 3 is what we were talking about today. Now, I want to know in the comments below, before I continue, do you think Happy Death Day is a horror slasher franchise? Me and my girlfriend was having this discussion. And I'm going to talk about it, more after I talk about this. But yeah, I really want to know, do you think it's a slasher franchise? I don't think so. I'll elaborate on that in a minute. But go ahead and get into the news. It says, definitely off to the side at the moment, he says. So Happy Death Day 3, it's just to the side at the moment. I wish it wasn't. And I know that Jason Blum, producer, is passionate about it. And I know I'm very passionate about it. And I know that Jessica Rother is really eager to do it as well. I wrote the idea for the third movie some time ago. So basically, the second one didn't do so well, so they're kind of, not too sure about this one, which I completely understand. Because again, the second one went in an entirely different direction than what you set up. But anyways, I think we're all excited about it because it's different than the other two films. Yeah. I kind of go to me because I just wish, in my opinion, this, again, I love the first two Happy Death Day, because I enjoyed the first one a little bit more, but I love the second one just as much. But in my personal opinion, I just wish this would have stayed a slasher franchise. It's different than the other two films, and we're really just crossing our fingers and hoping that our fan base continues to grow, which is something that I've really enjoyed watching over the years, seeing more and more people discover both films. So who knows? There might be a time when it makes sense, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. I mean, I want a Happy Death Day 3, but I don't know. Whether or not the third film comes, it's still up in the air for now, but London is happy for wait, not facing the same time, so the pressure of the second film. The ideal for the third film is not set in the same day. I think that's really good. Spice it up, change it up. If that's a big spoiler, so it can happen later. He says, we're not up against a real difficult clock right now. The other movies were hard because they were set in the exact same day, so everybody had to look the same, be the same. The pressure was there. Which I completely understand. Imagine that, you have to look the same, be the same, talk the same, on the same movie. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that was wild, but also pretty fun. As well as confirming that it's set on a different day to the previous two films. Letting also tease a little bit more about the Happy Death Day 3-quel. I guess I can give you the title without pissing everybody off, he said. It doesn't have the 3 in it, which again, understandable, in there. But it's called Happy Death Day to Us. Pretty interesting title. That's the working title, so they may change it, they may put a 3 in there. Hopefully someday we get to the film that goes with it. That's interesting. They're kind of on the fence about this movie, but they see the fan base. I feel like they want to pull new audiences in. Again, you can't cater to one audience. You got to cater to both. But hey, I'm not Blumhouse. But yeah, I'm really curious to know, how do you feel about Happy Death Day 3? I mean, I want it, but it's like, it's like I want it at the same time, but it's also like I kind of just, I do and I don't, because it's like, I just wish this franchise stayed to its original form. Again, as much as I love the second one, in my opinion, I just wish it would have stayed at its form. In my opinion. I think, they're waiting to see the success of Freaky, too, which is kind of a bummer, especially if Freaky comes out this, if Freaky comes out to theaters this November, it's going, I try to stay positive, but it's going to be, what happened to the New Mutants in Tenet, where it went to limited theaters because of, what's going on, and it doesn't make enough money because of what's going on in the world. But point is, Happy Death Day 3, it's happening. They want to make it. I want it, and I don't. You know, as much as I love the first two, I just really wish it would go back to the original form. You know, considering horror, you know, it's the most successful genre right now. You think you would want to fully embrace that? I don't know. It's just, I be honest. It really feels like the only really hard hitting horror movie that Blumhouse has, that would be Halloween. You know, the Halloween franchise. That's it. I really don't feel like Blumhouse makes movies like they used to. The only movie they make that they used to would be the Halloween franchise. You know, I love what they did with the Halloween franchise. I hope it stays like that. But point is, Happy Death Day 3 is happening. I thought I'd just bring this little update to you guys because I'm very curious to know, what do you think of a Happy Death Day 3? I want it and I don't. It's just I'm kind of scared to see what it would even be about and the tone and the feel of it. Again, I like the ideal that it's be set on a different day. What do I think? This script was written probably 2018, early 2019. They probably had the script written. The script is probably going to go through some changes. You know, once they get to filming it. But you know, like I was talking earlier, I'm gonna talk more about it. You know, in my Happy Death Day review that I got coming up. Is I don't consider this a horror franchise. Well, I do consider it a horror franchise, but not a slasher, not a modern. I don't consider it a slasher film. Let me elaborate. The first one, it does have slasher elements. I consider the first one to be a dark humor comedy slasher, much in the lines of Bride of Chucky, much in the lines of Nightmare on Elm Street 3. In that vein. Right, in that old, in that old school dark humor, horror comedy, slasher elements, all those elements combined, it's just fun and entertaining, right? But then you go to part 2, it teeters too much to a comedy horror with just small elements of horror. But part 2 is more of a sci-fi horror comedy. What do you think they're going to do for part 3? If part 2 was almost a full sci-fi comedy, what do you think they're going to do for part 3? That kind of worries me, considering the fact, you know, the second one didn't do so well. But yeah, I'm just very curious to know. What do you think of a Happy Death Day 3? Do you think it will be successful? I think it will be successful. But how do you feel about Happy Death Day 3? Do you consider the Happy Death Day franchise a slasher franchise? I don't consider it a slasher franchise. I consider the first one more of a slasher. But like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and Bride of Chucky and etc. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like bell, please hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next video.